Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the EOP SUNY Plattsburgh WebEx. It looks like we have a good crowd tonight, and it looks like questions are already coming in. Priscilla, thank you so much for sharing your number one question that you hope we answer tonight, and I can promise you that we will be talking about EOP qualification or eligibility tonight, so I'll make sure to cover that with you. For joining us, we're here tonight to talk about the Educational Opportunity Program, how to apply, our process from start to finish, services that we provide, and a couple of things that make the EOP program at SUNY Plattsburgh unique. So please, as you're listening and watching tonight, make sure you write down your questions, take notes, and we'll also provide some contact information at the end of the presentation if you have some follow-ups. So the voice you're hearing is Kylie Relaford. I'm the Director for the Educational Opportunity Program here at SUNY Plattsburgh, and I'll be going through our presentation, our slides tonight, and giving you the broad strokes that you need to know. But I have two awesome guests with me tonight that you can also see on screen. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves in just a moment, but they're also here to give you some perspective about EOP and the application process and our supports from both a student perspective and an alumni perspective. So I'll go ahead and let my guests introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Amaris. I'm a freshman here at SUNY Plattsburgh.
Troy Joseph. I am currently employed at SUNY Plattsburgh, but I am a proud EOP alum, class of 2010.
Yeah. They are going to be able to weigh in throughout our presentation, and they're certainly positioned really well to respond to some of the questions that I'm sure you will all have as we go through the presentation. Go ahead and get started. This very first slide is actually pretty significant. EOP really is designed to help students get from right now, college, high school senior, looking to go to college, and hoping to graduate and move on to a great career. So we're hoping to create open doors, so getting you from now to next, and that is having a degree in hand, leaving college, and moving on to your professional lives. We're going to talk about the details about what EOP really is. Lots of students during high school are asked to apply via EOP. Maybe a college advisor or a school counselor encourages you to apply, but you don't necessarily hear about some of the details about EOP. You're told it's a good thing, but you're not provided with the finer points of the obligation and the supports that are provided. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. So what is EOP? First and foremost, we're a college access program. So one of multiple routes of admission to a college, and we specifically serve New York State residents who have a minimum high school average of a 75 and a minimum SAT of 750, that's with the old SATs, or an 840, that's with the new SAT. Require that students submit letters of recommendation, at least one, financially eligible, and we'll talk about what financial eligibility looks like in just a few slides. And most importantly, we're looking for students who have a drive to succeed, students who are highly motivated to start and finish college. We have a huge volume of applicants each year through EOP, and we do have enough seats to accommodate all of those applicants. So even students who are eligible still go through a selection process. So we really are looking for students who are highly motivated and driven to succeed. Beyond the access component of EOP and opening a door for students who are traditionally admissible to college, we also provide academic support. Academic success is really what we're all about once a student is admitted to college through EOP. That starts with a pre-freshman summer institute and week required program. It's a pre-college preparatory program. Students come to SUNY Plattsburgh, live on our campus, take classes, and really get ready for college-level coursework. It's the kind of bedrock and foundation of EOP at SUNY Plattsburgh. Most students are pretty nervous when they start, but by the time they leave, they're actually pretty disappointed to go back home for a couple of weeks before the semester begins. Troy and Amaris, do you remember your freshman summer programs, and what was that experience like for you?
Me, as I had it like this previous summer, it was really different and exciting, and I met a whole bunch of people, and it's true, you don't want to leave. Like, I had stories of people crying before they leave. I was like, I'm not going to cry. I ended up crying.
Freshman program pre-freshman program is really interesting because you come to New York City and you are kind of with all these new people, and you'll be surprised at the end of 4 weeks how much a family you have created, because as they said, you don't want to even, you are really excited to come back when the semester starts, and the first thing that you do once you're back is try to find these folks who you have a new bond and friendship with, and these carry you through the entire 4 years you're at SUNY Plattsburgh and beyond. I have some really good friends who I still speak to freely from that one side. I had no idea that they were even alive before that, so it was great.
That kind of family feeling is definitely significant to us at SUNY Plattsburgh. We're a large enough program that I think students and the staff in the program have a wonderful time getting to know people from all over the state of New York who have different backgrounds and experiences, small enough that students count on being able to see their EOP counselor or advisor, being able to access our services, and developing a relationship with other EOP students. And it helps students definitely to start college from a position of strength. And it's really what we hope for at the end of the Summer Institute. You'll see here that we do have some dates listed. The year is incorrect. These are actually the correct month, day, start, and end dates for 2017. So we'll begin our program July 8th, 2017, and our program will end on August 5th, 2017. So if you want to write those dates down, if you know that Plattsburgh is going to be the place for you, you're confident that you'll be joining us, make sure to write those dates down. You'll be getting a lot more information about the Summer Institute during your application process and if you're accepted and admitted EOP. Summer Institute, we provide academic advising, tutorial services, workshops, at-risk services for students who are struggling, financial support. All of these supports are in place for the duration of your college education at SUNY Plattsburgh. So whether it takes you 4 years, 4.5 years, or 5 years, EOP students are going to receive support from our office to make sure that you graduate. Because again, we're really focused on not just starting college, but helping students to finish college. And again, to just talk a little bit more about the EOP family, we do strive to create a home away from home. Our family is diverse, our students support each other, and EOP students do develop lifelong friendships with peer, faculty, staff. So our focus on a community that values integrity, respect, kindness, intellectual curiosity, perseverance, and we really do strive to help each other to get to the finish line. So for those of you who are coming from high schools or pre-college prep programs that are very focused on intensive supports, you can count on that continuing during college through EOP. So this is a part of our identity at SUNY Plattsburgh's EOP. It's important to know, EOP at SUNY Plattsburgh is proactive and contractual. We are not a passive support program. Accepted students through EOP at Plattsburgh do sign an educational contract with us, contracting you to utilize our program services to maintain your EOP enrollment and the benefits of the program. And the purpose of this is to make sure that students are engaged in EOP, using the services we provide to ensure your success and ultimately your graduation. Trey Amaris, can you talk a little bit about signing a contract, an educational contract, how you felt about that or feel about that, and if it's been helpful in any way for you, or if you feel that it's been an obstacle in any way? Can you talk a little bit about the contract?
I feel like the contract, it was kind of scary at first because I was like, oh, serious? But it's really there for your benefit and for your understanding of what you're going to be during the year while you're going to classes. It's really like, it doesn't even feel mandatory what's going on there because it says like 3 contacts in 1 year, 1 contact in a year. I go there almost every day. I'm always with my advisor, where she's like my big aunt. Like, we're always together. We talk about everything, not just academic stuff. And if it wasn't having that relationship here, I don't think I would be as successful as I am now.
Remember was definitely eye-opening for me. I didn't mind signing a contract, but what it did for me was it opened in terms of the level of support that I was going to get from the program, because the contract is an issue for me, but for the EOP staff and the EOP director to be committing themselves to the program way, because the contract is not only, the students are not the only ones who the contract affects, the office has to be held accountable too. So for them to be doing that just made me feel special in terms of the commitment to the program that they were providing by having students not only commit to contact hours or commit to during, commit to take advantage of the services, but it showed me the overall the program was going to offer me during my time here.
So much. And pause this just for a quick moment, just to check in with our audience to make sure that you're able to hear and see all of the information that we're providing. If you're able to hear us, if you could pop into the chat, a thumbs up or yes, really helpful. I just want to make sure that we aren't having any technical difficulties. So if you can hear me right now and you're getting good visual, if you could please just check in our chat box and give me a confirmation that you can hear us. I don't think I can. One person, I can't hear you guys.
Uh-oh.
All right, so it looks like we do have folks that can hear and can see us well. So just be sure if you did connect via web that you've also done the call-in option. You can get our audio in its entirety. So we'll go ahead and move on. If you're having additional difficulties, please let us know. So moving on back to our slides, our EOP application process. It's really a pretty simple process, a 3-step process that begins with completing your SUNY or Common application, which is something you're going to be doing anyway. So please be sure, if you haven't already completed your SUNY app or Common app and you're looking for fall 2017 admission, go ahead and complete those documents first. This application does provide a box to indicate you're interested in EOP. The Common application does not, but don't worry, you won't fall through the cracks. We do have systems in place to identify students who are academically eligible for EOP who apply via the Common app. Your SUNY application and your Common application have been submitted. Our admissions team will do an initial academic eligibility review. And if you are academically eligible for EOP, you'll move on to the final step in EOP review, and that's the financial eligibility review. This is probably the most cumbersome part of our process, and sometimes the process that students have the most difficulty with, but I want to simplify it for you tonight. Our process, just to be clear, is not the FAFSA. It's not the federal application for student aid. So our process is a separate process, and we're looking for slightly different information than your FAFSA. An overview. To begin, we're going to ask all of our applicants who are academically eligible to complete online Statement of Family Income Form, or SOFI. That document helps us to collect some important information about your household and your household income. Complete that online SOFI, or Statement of Family Income Form, we're going to ask you to submit verified documents that help to validate the information that you provided on your SOFI. So SOFI is not the FAFSA. It is a separate document that you'll need to complete that's part of the EOP application process. The SOFI 4, this stuff helps us to determine your household size and to determine your household income. This is a one-time document. You'll only have to complete it online one time, so you won't need to do it every year if you're accepted through EOP. Moving forward, your sophomore, junior, or senior year, we would use your FAFSA to verify ongoing eligibility. So this is a one-time form. And you can start collecting to prepare you to complete your SOFI. One, a list of your household members. So you need to be prepared to list who lives in your home and who is dependent on the same income that supports you. So everyone who's living in your house and dependent on the primary income provider. And income information for 2014 and 15 will also be needed. Tax information, some non-work sources, things like free or reduced school lunch, SNAP benefits, or child support. You'll need to provide information as well. Any assets that your family has, things like home ownership or rental property. It's a general list of information that you're going to want to collect before you complete your SOFI. The SOFI process, again, is designed to help us to identify how many people live in your household and the total picture of your household income. To add your statement of family income form, you're going to use the My Plattsburgh applicant portal. And all of you who have already applied to SUNY Plattsburgh and started your application process should be accessing this portal already. There's information available on our portal page to set a password and log in for the first time, to find your ID, or to reset your password. If you're having any trouble, just give us a call. The admissions office, EOP, or our Computing and Media Services office can help you. All of the contact information for those offices is available on our website. So the My Plattsburgh applicant portal is you'll access your SOFI once the link is available for you to complete. It's not pretty. Not y'all, it's not that cute. But this is designed to gather important information. So while not that visually appealing, it's a really simple and functional way for you to provide the information that we need. And you see here, this is an example of the initial page where we ask you for your residency status, foster care information, and some initial parent information. Again, showing you what this will look like in terms of asking about wages, your wages as an applicant, which will not be held against you, so please feel free to report those honestly and as completely as you can. Our household members who live in your house, so not including yourself and your parents that you listed above. You're going to list anyone else in your house, siblings, parents, if you have aunts or uncles who live in your house. You want to make sure to list all of those people here. Here's the asset information that I talked about earlier. We're going to ask about cash, checking, savings, investments, home ownership. We also taxables, as I mentioned before, so things like free reduced school lunch you'll indicate here, or other public assistance or SNAP benefits. Ask for some autobiographical information. We ask 3 unique questions that you should respond to. And it's really important that you do respond because I do read these in the application review process. So please make sure you're answering them honestly, completely, and as thoughtfully as you can. Damaris, can you just speak a little bit about the application process? Did you find it challenging? And if you ran into an obstacle, what did you do to overcome that?
The obstacle that I ran into was trying to fill out my parents' information without knowing the documents. But once my documents took it, it was simple. It's like plugging it in. That's it.
Great. So yeah, I'm sure you're applying to many schools and many EOP programs. So, and to the second phase of the application process, the SOFI, as we call it, it's going to be defined at other schools too. Some and most are in paper form, so you would know instantly that SUNY Plattsburgh's process is a lot more streamlined and easier than other schools, and I can definitely vouch for that. Our process is very clean, as Kyle said. It might not be pretty, but once you get all the things together, you can definitely get them in. And what separates SUNY Plattsburgh, especially during this process, is the assistance that you get. If you have any issues at all, the EOP is definitely a great resource, our admissions office, and you are guaranteed to speak to someone that knows that they can definitely help you troubleshoot any issues you are having 150%. You're not going to be transferred, or you're not going to speak to clerical staff. You will be speaking to, as Kyle said, someone could potentially be reviewing and reading these essays and information that you placed on the form. And that's what definitely separated it for me. I can vouch for that. I had other experiences in other schools that was not as easy and simple, and that was one of the things that definitely prompted me to enroll at SUNY Plattsburgh.
Andy, there was one question I had about the application with another school. I was put on hold, then they messaged me back, and it just took too long. So that time I had forgotten that I even started the application. Motion pastor, when I had a question, I called, got it, just faxed it in, and faxed it in. Look at them now.
Thank you both. And we do take a lot of pride and make a lot of efforts to be here for our applicants and to help applicants through their process. We know that there's a lot of additional information that we need, so we want to be helpful throughout that process to make sure that people can complete their applications and get an admissions decision in a timely way. So again, the SOFI is looking for household information, household income information, and all of that information is designed to help you identify the hard copy documents that you'll need to submit for the final financial review. And our system is a little bit unique. There is a SUNY EOP supplement financial form that's available through SUNY app. Not campuses participate in that form. Unfortunately, SUNY Plattsburgh does not participate at this time, but it's primarily because we have our own form, and it is the SOFI. What's unique about the SOFI is that all of the information you provide will help us to generate a customized list of hard copy documents. So instead of putting the responsibility on our applicants to identify what they need to submit and potentially delaying your application review by having to go back and forth about what you need to submit to us, we create a customized document from your answers within 24 hours of the completion of your SOFI. So once you're done with your SOFI, the next step is log back into your My Plattsburgh applicant portal, review your customized list of required hard copy documents. You'll submit all of those documents, and then you're done. It's time for your review. So we do have a customized process that will hopefully help you to expedite your EOP application with us. Documents that you might need to submit, I've listed here. And without a customized list, it would be your responsibility to look at each of these items to determine if you need to submit them. And again, we wanted to simplify this process for applicants, so we'll actually tell you from the list you see in front of you now which items you're going to need to submit based on your responses. So you won't have to look at this list, figure out yes, no, do I need to submit pension information or public assistance forms? Do I submit affidavits, 4506s? So we'll help you through that process and identify that for you based on your SOFI responses. So be sure you complete your SOFI, that you're accurate, and your customized list will help you to identify the documentation you'll be providing. So I hope that is exciting and helpful to all of you, and it'll take the guesswork out of this part of the EOP process. If you get ahead and to be prepared, you can start to collect a few documents that are generally required for all EOP applicants. And that would include the 2015 tax transcript for yourself or your parent. You'll also need to submit proof of taxable income for 2016. This would be paid for your reduced school lunch. So if you do receive that benefit at school, go ahead and ask either your administrative office, your school counsel, college advisor, or your school lunch office to provide a letter certifying that you received the benefit. SNAP benefits, home energy assistance, or housing assistance can begin to gather information about those benefits as well. If you have anyone in your household who does not appear on your parent tax returns, you also want to collect birth certificates. We do require birth certificates for anyone in your household who doesn't appear on parent tax returns. And if you have any unique or extenuating circumstances, just write some letters. Make sure they're signed and that you get them notarized. You can submit those to us as well. So if you went ahead and you haven't completed your SOFI yet, you can start to collect these important documents. So you've submitted SOFI, you've submitted your hard copy documentation, and you're financially eligible. What's next? Your total application will be reviewed. Carefully your letters of recommendation, your autobiographical materials, and any supplemental essays you provide through the SUNY or Common App. Most candidates will also be asked to complete a telephone interview or an in-person interview if you make a visit to the campus before a final decision is made. But once the interview is complete, a final decision is typically processed within 24 hours. So we try to move quickly so that you can make decisions about your final college of choice. So at this point, I do want to open up to Q&A, but I thought you might also find it helpful to see one other thing that makes the SUNY Plattsburgh EOP unique and distinct. I want to give you a little bit of information about our direct aid and financial support. So at SUNY Plattsburgh, EOP students receive 3 additional forms of EOP direct aid. This is financial assistance above and beyond standard state and federal financial aid. So you can see here that for as many as 5 years, EOP students are eligible for annually $800 in a book stipend. That is designed to assist students with purchasing books and educational supplies. Students are also eligible for an EOP grant. That varies based on class year, but it maxes out in the sophomore year, interestingly, at $1,000 per year. This is designed to help to bridge a gap that tends to happen in the sophomore year due to other state and federal aid issues. Then, SUNY Plattsburgh is committed to helping freshmen and sophomores to bridge financial gaps. And the college awards first-year students an additional $1,750 per year in campus scholarship money to help bridge any financial gaps. And in the second year, they provide a $500 award. So these are some important numbers that you should either screenshot or take a photo of, write them down. This is important information for you to have about the SUNY Plattsburgh EOP Direct Aid, and this is our format for the 2017-18 academic year. So for those of you applying now, this information definitely applies to you. So as you're looking at EOPs across the state, make sure you're asking about book stipends, grants, and any additional EOP campus-based scholarships that are provided so that you can choose the campus that's going to provide the best possible financial aid package for you. So information assist you as well. So just open things up for Q&A. Let us know if you have some questions about the campus, about EOP, if there are any questions that you hoped I would answer that I didn't. Please go ahead and use the chat box, and I'll give you a few minutes to pop your questions in, and we will begin to answer questions for you. Okay, we do have a question about campus life, and this one's for Amaris. Amaris, can you talk a little bit about SUNY Plattsburgh campus life, and for students who are coming from the city, did you feel welcome here, and how do you like the campus community?
So before I came here, I thought I wouldn't feel as welcomed as I hoped I would feel because from the city, but once I got here, I felt like I was in another version of the city. Like, there were people all over the place just coming together, and everyone's so eager to meet you and hear about your life story and just get to know you and see how you can impact their lives. So I completely, like, I felt overwhelmed with how welcomed I felt, but I loved it overall.
Even from a staff and alum perspective, having many students on campus, I think SUNY Plattsburgh is unique in that the staff provides an environment where you feel comfortable, not only express yourself, but to challenge the norms that society try to dictate, and that's what a lot of students do here, and it's welcome because that's what educational settings should promote. I came from Bronx also, and I had no issues in terms of feeling comfortable here. We have very diverse application and pool and classes every year. We have international students from all across the world. We have students from across the country, from all the boroughs in New York City. So you will be surprised as to how comfortable you are once you get on this campus.
I have friends that are from Brooklyn or from Queens, and then I have good friends that literally just came from Jamaica or just came from India. So it's like there's a variety of everything. It's really interesting. It changes you.
Thank you. So we have a couple of additional questions here. One about academic information. So the best way to send your academic information, whether it's a transcript or SAT scores, would be to send that through your college advisement office or your school counselor office. They can upload that information electronically for you. You can certainly send things to us in hard copy format, but the quickest way to send your academic information would be directly through your college office so that they can upload that information to our system. There's also a question here about notification about EOP eligibility, and academic eligibility and financial eligibility are two separate processes. So initially, what I would recommend that all applicants do, if you're not sure if you're being reviewed for EOP or if you're eligible for EOP and you applied via EOP, I would strongly encourage you just to call our office. And this Q&A screen has our contact information listed. Please don't ever hesitate to call or email us directly. We can tell you where you are in your process, if you're currently being reviewed for EOP, if you're academically eligible for EOP, and therefore will receive the financial eligibility information. So if you're not sure if you're being reviewed for EOP and academically eligible for the program and move on to the financial review process, just call or email and we will tell you directly and respond quickly to those requests for information. So please give us a call. You can start number 518-564-2263 or email us at eop@plattsburgh.edu. And again, we're very responsive and quick to provide that information so that you know how to proceed with your application. So please give us a call anytime Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And I'll wait a few to see if we get any more questions that come through. And our application process or campus life. Happy to answer any of your questions.
While we wait, financial slide that Kyla showed a while ago. I think a lot of you coming from New York City, finances are a huge question whenever you're applying to college, and I would say don't take that slide for granted. I know she told her to write it down, screenshot. That's a big part because we all have the student debt issues going on across the country, so academic important, but the financial support that you get is definitely a big part of the decision, and SUNY Plattsburgh EOP definitely provides you with that part of the pie, definitely looking at in comparison to a lot of other schools, because now we want to support you. But it is a big part of your decision-making process too.
Awesome, guys. Go back to the slide where the EOP Summer Institute dates are on. I recommend you screenshot them and start planning if you really want to come here. You know, tell your parents when you're going to be leaving, when you'll be back, and just get ready.
I'll scroll back to that right now. That the month and days are correct. The years obviously incorrect. But July 8th through August 5th, 2017, we are Summer Institute dates for our next incoming freshman class. Okay, so those are our final questions for the night. So I just want to encourage all of you to be in touch with us through your application process. If you have questions, do not hesitate to call us. SUNY Plattsburgh prides itself on being responsive and available to our applicants, so please be persistent. We receive approximately 2,500 applications each year for EOP seats. This next incoming class will be a class of 70 students. So we want to choose 70 students out of our 2,500 applicants. So again, the keys to getting one of those seats are to provide your information as quickly as you can. We ask for it. Make sure to be thoughtful in your autobiographical responses. And persistent. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're happy to help you through your process. I also provided some information to our financial aid office and our admissions office here. So if you have specific questions about financial aid or other aspects of our admissions process, please feel free to call those offices as well. They are equally as responsive and available during the week. Thank you so much for participating in our EOP WebEx. I look forward to hearing from all of you. If you do have follow-up questions, email eop@plattsburgh.edu, and I can respond to any questions that have come up based on tonight's WebEx. Again, thanks so much. Stay warm, everybody. I know it's a cold night in New York for all of us, so stay warm, and thank you for joining us at SUNY Plattsburgh.
Bye, guys.